welcome to the monthly news report. It's February. We're just going to do a quick roundup of what's been going on around Bali in February. Now, if you want a proper news report, a weekly one, check out Bruce Pohlmann. I'll leave a link for his YouTube channel. He's very goes in depth about all the news around Bali. Check him out, Bruce Pohlmann. Okay, so let's get on with February's roundup of news. All right, so first up in the news this month for February, we have a Ukrainian woman, Katerina Yakarova, has been handed a 20-year prison sentence for smuggling 2,120 grams of a synthetic drug known as blue sapphire into Bali. Right, so she was first given a 12-year prison sentence, but then they upped it to 20 years. So, right, do not bring drugs into Bali. It seems like this month there's just been so many cases of people getting caught smuggling into Bali. So anyway, yeah, she's also got a 1 billion rupiah fine on top of that as well. And yeah, she's just ruined her life, that's for sure. Anyway, on to the next story. Okay, so Bali Liquor Day. Governor Costner obtains a local production licence to produce local liquor like arak. And on the January 29th, it was the 6th annual Bali Liquor Day was celebrated at the Western Resort in Nusa Dua. And the Industry Ministry presented a production licence for Bali liquor to the Bali Provincial Government and personally hand that to Wayan Costner. This handover represents a strategic advancement for the professional management of Bali liquor throughout the production cooperative. Now, he will be using 1,472 farmers from around Karanasam and distillers, and using their product. Maybe they're going to package it properly and check it, make sure there's no methanol. And yeah, that's to the Bali government, has the licence now to sell arak. Next up, we have another story in Canggu. And an exciting new shopping mall is set to transfer Canggu's landscape. Bali is evolving rapidly with new hotels, resorts and lifestyle complexes emerging almost monthly. Among these is Canggu, the island's most popular resort area, where plans are underway for a significant new development, the Canggu Hills Shopping Centre. Wow, so they're going to build another shopping centre? The shopping centre will be developed by PT Asia Mass Realty with 35 commercial shops. All right, so there's something new coming to Canggu, another big shopping mall. And yet another drug story in Bali. An Australian drug smuggler sentence reduced in Bali cocaine case. The Australian man successfully reduced his prison sentence for drug trafficking in Indonesia following a conviction for possessing cocaine hidden in Lindt chocolate balls. Oh my God, so he has reduced his sentence. It was initially sentenced to 12 years prison and now reduced to 9 years. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison by the Denpasar District Court after being found guilty of accepting 2 packages containing 54 chocolate balls, each with 8.3 grams of cocaine in them. However, his appeal was successful, resulting in the Bali High Court reducing his sentence to 9 years. The ruling was confirmed by John McLeod, a former police officer, now specialising in assisting Australians with legal matters abroad. Now, I cannot specify enough, do not bring drugs into Indonesia. You know, you can get the death sentence for it. It seems like every month now someone is getting caught for smuggling drugs in Indonesia. Now, they know the laws. They've just got to be stupid. So don't do it. Don't use drugs. Don't bring drugs into Indonesia. President Prabowo has addressed international complaints about Bali's cleanliness. Now, he had a little complaint about it to the Balinese government, and they got the military, the schools in there, the police and everyone in there doing massive clean-ups on the beach, which is really good. And it seemed like they just needed someone like that to give them a bit of a push. But the beach is 100% compared to what it was. So great work from the President. There has been a crackdown on illegal gambling websites in Bali. There was 39 Indian nationals arrested in 2 villas. 35 Indian nationals have been charged and detained, while 4 others are under investigation. Now, apparently, the police estimate the operation generated monthly revenues between 7 billion and 8 billion rupiah. Wow, that's a lot of money. With each villa contributing to around 4.3 billion monthly. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's probably $700,000 or $800,000 Australian every month out of this, and they've caught them, they've closed them down. They're saying it could have linked to connections in the networks of the big call centres and that from Cambodia. So anyway, great work. Bali police have caught the Indian scammers, I suppose, because they online gambling syndicate. The suspects now face charges under Indonesia's 2024 Electric Information and Transactions Law, which could result in up to 9 years in prison, reaching fines of up to 200 million each. Okay, great work. President Prabowo has invited Anthony Albanese, the Australian Prime Minister, what a goose, to attend the Ocean Impact Summit 2026 in Bali to discuss about the oceans and fishing and things like that between the two countries, and that's about it for that. So a Turkish DJ has been arrested in Bali for smuggling over 1.2 kilograms of cocaine into Bali. Just another drug story. There seems to be getting more and more and more every month. Oh, what a bunch of fools. The police have uncovered a cocaine smuggling case involving a Turkish national who allegedly brought in more than 1.2 kilograms of the drug into Indonesia through the island's main international airport. Wow. Well, we'll have to see what happens to him. I'm sure he'll get a hefty sentence after that one. So it seems like every month, as I said, every month it's just a non-stop ongoing thing. And when are these people going to learn, you know? Anyway, we'll see what happens to that when he goes to court. And no surprise, the next story is another drug smuggling case. A Colombian drug dealer arrested in Bali over 2 kilograms of cocaine. The Narcotics Agency of Bali has successfully dismantled an international cocaine trafficking network following the arrest of a Colombian national on February 11th. Sebastian Montoya, 29 years old, was arrested at Newry International Airport on his way from Medellin, Colombia, where evidence of drug trafficking was discovered. Wow. It just goes on and on, doesn't it? The 2.2 kilograms of cocaine was hidden between the walls of a black suitcase carried by Montoya. Montoya revealed that he was instructed by an individual named Ria to transport the suitcase filled with cocaine to Bali for delivery to a local recipient. Bali is actively working to track down his accomplice. All right, so they haven't caught who he was bringing it for yet. In addition, they seized drugs, a mobile phone and a boarding pass for the Denpasar flight and €580 Euro in cash. And the investigation continues. Wow. It just goes on and on, doesn't it? That's 3 this month. It's getting out of control. It's been another tragic motorbike accident for an Italian who has recently moved to Australia. And he is a chef in Australia. He's on holidays in Bali, had a tragic accident and died. They had a GoFundMe thing. They raised $12,000 for his cremation in Bali. Okay. Also, a Swiss national has been deported for an illegal employment at a surf camp in Indonesia, well, in Canggu, actually. He was renting local people to do the surf school and, working illegally here without the appropriate visas, and was caught and deported. It says here that they acted on a tip-off to immigration and they followed through and caught him, yes. Which is very good. We don't want people here working illegally. There's just way too many getting away with it. WONDERSHARE confirmed that approximately 100 personnel continue to monitor foreign nationals across various locations to make sure they've got the appropriate visas. Right, good work from the Bali government and immigration. And that's it for February's news report. You know, if you like this sort of thing, leave it in the comments. I don't know whether people really like it, but I'm just doing it because they're just rough stories of what's been going on around the month. Like I said before, if you want the proper news report, check out Bruce Pohlmann. I'll leave his link in the description. So anyway, thank you from Southern Cross Go.